Another day of frigid temperatures for just about all of us, but nothing like what happens almost daily at a sparsely populated spot in Cache County.
Dozens of degrees below zero is what's normal, right? At
Yep.
Peter Sinks in Cache County. But this Arctic air is pushing even that temperature to a 20-year record low. News specialist Katya Stepovic caught up with some people who braved the brutal weather to set some records of their own.
The Arctic air mass has gripped the region with frigid temperatures that aren't too typical in the state of Utah. And it has some cold weather chasers trying to break their own records. Utah's very own Peter Sinks recorded the country's coldest temperatures on Monday and Tuesday.
The minus 62.1 was the 1 minute average. The absolute minimum, the 1 second absolute minimum, was actually minus 63.4.
The natural limestone sinkhole in the Bear River Mountains tied for the coldest temperature that the state has seen in 21 years.
I wish I had gone up and experienced it myself.
And a group of Utahns did just that.
I noticed last night that it was going to get cold, so I texted a couple friends and said, hey, do you want to go with me?
Taylor Bybee and his two friends broke their own records Monday.
It took me a couple of hours to fall asleep just because I was so excited.
Dark and early, they ventured to the Middle Sink, just a couple miles from Peter Sinks, clocking a whopping negative 58 degrees.
All of a sudden it hit you. Like you could feel the temperature difference between minus 30 and minus 60.
This wasn't Taylor's first go-around in frigid temperatures. He once visited Middle Sink when it hit below 25 degrees and again at negative 35.
Everything around you is completely still, like there's almost no movement.
Timothy Wright, graduate research assistant at the Utah Climate Center at USU, has been researching climate at Peter Sinks for over 2 decades.
You have this bowl. What happens is the cold air at night, it forms near the surface, and because cold air is more dense, it flows downhill like water and it fills this bowl.
And while he didn't chase the negative 62 degrees on Monday, he did experience a bone-chilling negative 55 on Tuesday, something he worries is becoming increasingly uncommon.
There's a very small group of us that like to go up and hunt cold air, so to speak. There's certainly been, more disappointment in the last, 10 to 20 years than in the prior decades because of, it's less frequent.
It's just a different world at minus 60.
Taylor says he will continue to chase that cold weather and try to set his own records. He says even when his kids are old enough, he might just bring them along with him. For KSL 5 News, I'm Katya Stepovic.